Welcome back. I'm Corinne, a writer, knitter, and cozy comfort lover living in Central Maine, and I'm so glad you're here. In this, the 9th installment of the Autumn Diaries, we're starting off on a slow Sunday. Yes, you've seen me make these scones before, but I loved them so much I wanted to make them again. When I started the channel back in January, I remember noting that I wasn't much of a baker. Little did I know that in the months to come, I'd find myself enjoying baking as a way to connect with you all. All these months later, I've learned that when you slow down and look at the process, it's quite meditative and methodical. That's the thing about filming and writing. When you look at something frame by frame, word by word, you start seeing things differently. The subtleties, the beauty, the tedium becomes poetry. Even though I have several other projects on the go right now, I decided to join Anne of Caprine Cottage and her knit along for the Pelica vest. The pattern is by Rosa Pomar, and it's something I don't have in my closet. I'm using her Brusca yarn, and it's woolly and coarse, and as Anne has said about such yarn, it's the type that brings you closer to the earth and animal. Here, I'm showing just a cast on and a first row or so, the humble beginnings. But I spent a good bit of time working on it just last night, and between the yarn and the pattern, it's another moving meditation of sorts, like baking. For the icing of the scones, you pour maple syrup into confectionery sugar, and it reminds me of the Little House on the Prairie books, and when they made maple snow candy by pouring the same liquid deliciousness into snow. Glossy amber against the textured snow, or sugar in this case, brings me right back to reading those books, all snuggled up on the couch when I was little. On Monday, I brought work into the living room in lots of different ways. There was laundry to hang, reading to catch up on, but there was also a story that needed sorting. I curled up on the couch like I did all those years ago, working on my own book, which was a dream little Corinne carried in her heart. This week, there were a few days when flow was available to me. Those periods of time felt like open-ended days of childhood, and the energy was far different than the busyness of last week. I found some playfulness in my work. I pulled tarot cards just for fun, and even pulled one for us. The Three of Wands, which felt spot on for our space here, this little cozy and creative corner of YouTube. That energy continued into Tuesday, when I decided it was time to declutter the kitchen counters and make some space. This week, you might have spotted me doing little dances here and there. It's been a while, but I can feel some lightness in my body where there's been stagnancy and heaviness. I'll share the playlist I've been listening to in the description. It's full of Noah Kahn and Hosier Camp and Lizzie McAlpine. Over the weekend, my daughter submitted her college application, and maybe that's where some of this lightness, this inner space, is coming from. It's the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. The really hard work is done in a lot of ways, and maybe we both have some senioritis. We can see the changes coming, but right now we're in the sweet spot of simply being. This cart hadn't been touched in months. The books were from my son's senior year last year, and the top had become a catch-all for many things, including dust. I've been leaving my many knitting project bags around the house, but as the days become colder, we're mainly in this room. So instead of letting them pile up in the corner, I thought I'd reclaim this little cart. It's funny how sometimes these seemingly little shifts can make such a big difference. There's other spaces in the house that need the same attention, and I'll get there. It's a constant thing, this tending to the house and heart. I keep coming back to thinking about living a quiet, cozy, gentle life, and this work is at the heart of it, tending to house and heart. And by house, I mean the inhabitants of our lives, the ways we fill our time, the people we spend it with, the spaces we live within. All of these things need tending. And our hearts need space to remember what lights us up. The hopes and dreams we had as children that still live inside of us. These quiet moments, the flowy days, the tactile experiences of baking and writing and knitting, decluttering and sorting, they connect me to that part of myself that longed for a home of my own, filled with love and warmth, for writing stories and for sharing my voice. On Wednesday, my daughter and I headed over to Freeport. I had a list of things I needed, and it felt like, again, Little House on the Prairie and leaving the homestead to go into town. We are not that far out in the boonies, don't get me wrong, but there was an air of adventure, of gathering supplies like buttons for my knitting projects and a few gifts for the holidays. The sun was shining and everything felt on the verge of festiveness, celebration, of pine and cinnamon scented everything. The space I'd cleared earlier in the week, inside and out, made the energy of that day possible. Everything connects, always. I'll see you back here next week when we'll wrap up the Autumn Diaries series, as well as my 100-day writing project. I'm also heading up north to pick up my son from college for Thanksgiving break, and I'll be sharing plans for Vlogmas. Thank you for being here, friends. It means so much. Until next time, be well.